Hello. I want to give a review of the HSU CCB-8 speakers and also the Dayton Ultimax kit that you get from Parts Express. I recently upgraded my home theater. I did the HSU speakers, 3 across. I have an acoustic screen so you can't see them here, but I'll add a picture that I took before I put the screen up. And then the subs are down below, which we'll get a shot of those in a second. Right now, this is the middle of the coronavirus outbreak, and Jen and I, we've been stuck at home now for, I think this is going on 5 days, and so we figured we'd do a review. We happened to get the HSU speakers right before the outbreak got kind of bad, and so gave me a lot of time now. At least I've been home. I've been able to listen to them a lot. We've played lots of music into them. We've done movies. And also use them for watching regular TV. So far they've been fantastic. Nice in our setup, the seats are very close to the screen. We really want to get a movie theater feel when you're watching a movie. And having the tweeter in the woofer, having that coaxial design is quite nice in here because it really keeps the audio coming from one point source. Which, I'm sure if you're further away from them it would be less noticeable, but still a nice advantage to have. But if you're close, near field like we are, it's really fantastic to have it. So here's how my screen is set up. I have the acoustic screen, and then what I did is I built my own brackets with Unistrut up above it, and it's hanging from the ceiling. That way I can fit the larger speakers behind it. And then you can kind of make out the HSU speakers. I added some acoustic foam behind them because of the ports. I know having them next to a wall isn't the most ideal setup, but it's all we can do in our setup here unless we would have the the whole living room just be the screen to get the space we needed behind the speakers. But they seem to work just fine like this. The wires going up, you can kind of see those little wires hanging right going up there. I have 2 small, I forget what they are, but there's some cheap outdoor speakers with a bracket. I mounted them to Unistrut, and those are my front Atmos speakers. And above the screen I have this black material, but it's actually acoustically transparent. So there's 2 Atmos speakers up there, and then it also keeps the reflections off the ceiling from washing out the top of the image. Here's one of my 2 Dayton audio subwoofers. As I said at the beginning of the video, this is the kit you get from Parts Express. It's a sealed box. And these sound fantastic too. I originally had just one. The original one's the one over there on that side. And having one, it was plenty loud enough for this room because it is a small room, but it was very noticeable that the sound was coming from the left side of the room with the bass, especially in the upper bass. And since we are seated very close to the subs, it's easier to tell where they're coming from. So I picked up a second one, and having 2 in here, it's great. Here's the amplifier I'm using on the Dayton audio subs. It's a Crown CDI 1000, which is definitely not as much power as you can drive into these subs. Of course, if you have an amp that's too small for your subs, as long as you're not clipping, you're not going to hurt anything. But we are using 2 of them with the 2 15-inch drivers. In this room, it's just to get the low frequency that I wanted to hear at the seats. And it gets plenty of volume, and with having 2, it's even. I don't need to push them to their full potential. We don't listen to it like crazy loud. We go more typical movie theater volume watching movies, but I know some people go way over the top and they like to have a really hard-hitting bass. We don't have it here. Maybe eventually I may end up putting in a bigger amp, but the CDI 1000 still seems to drive them quite well. Here's a view from how our seating is. I just have 3 small cheap recliners set up with a 110-inch acoustic transparent screen. As I said earlier, there's 2 Atmos speakers above the screen, the 3 HSU speakers across the middle, 2 Dayton Audio 15-inch subs, 1 per side, and then I have some Paradigm. They're the Atom version 2s set up in the room. I have 4 of those. 1 there, 1 over there by the projector, 1 there, and 1 there. So we have 7 channel plus 2 Atmos and 2 subs. It's quite a bit of sound for a small room like this, but it works really. I know a lot of people like to hear the speakers in the video reviews of equipment. Of course, you're not really going to be able to hear what they sound like, I don't think, on your home setup. I'm just using the mic that's built into the camera. But it gives you some idea. Right now I'm just using left and right, and then the two subs. The surround, of course, you wouldn't hear it all in the camera anyways. And if your music's recorded in stereo, I always listen to it in stereo. I don't like to add processing to it. But that's speakers. Hope you enjoyed the review, and if you're thinking about getting them, I highly recommend them. They are really, really, really great.